Hi everyone, this is Xenia from Alexa Real Estate, and a few days ago I did a video on whether tenants should offer more for a property to ensure that they secure that property more than the asking price in rent. And in that video I said that offering more rent is not always the main considering factor in screening tenant applications, because affordability and whether the property is going to be looked after is more of a consideration. Well, today I'm going to show you a situation where it actually has made a difference. So I've got my laptop in front of me. I'm in my office at home, and yeah, I like plants. I like tropical and rare plants, so I'm in my office. This is actually part of our aquaponics system outside, so we've got seedlings of, I don't know what they are. I think they're lettuces and kale and stuff like that. That's going to go outside in our aquaponics system. Yeah, some plants in the corner. I've got my little dog Olive on the ground. So I'm really sweet here, just screening applications. Now back to the applications. I'm just going to put my hand over the names because you don't need to know that. But we've got a range of applications for this property here. This is a brand new property that's came onto the market about 11 days ago. The builders are still doing a few little final touches to the property, but we are receiving applications on this property. Now the property that's actually been shortlisted at the front, whether it's been offered to these tenants, is this one. And you can see that the property is actually at $550 a week. You can see that they have actually offered $600 a week, and we have accepted that application, not only on the basis that they have offered $50 more, which is a bonus for the landlord. She obviously did not complain, receiving $50 more a week, but there were other factors that were considered. So if you can see, this is actually the best application anyway. The other ones I'll take you through what these numbers mean. The other ones were actually inferior compared to this one. So this ratio here, the 23% and the 28%, this is one of the first things that we look at when we screen for applications. So what that actually means, it is the ratio of rent compared to the combined weekly income for a property. So if I hover over this one, I can see that the rent is $550. These people can actually afford $587 per week. That's based on their gross income of nearly $2,000, as you can see here. So it's acceptable. It's kind of on the borderline acceptable. This applicant here was actually the second in line that we were going to consider. They actually can't afford really any more than $550. They would not be able to afford to offer any more than $550 a week. That would push that ratio above the 30%, which makes them inaffordable. This one here, they can actually afford over $1,000 a week, except the problem with these ones is that they applied ages ago. If you can see this number here, they actually don't have enough ID coming through, and also we've had 3 separate open inspections on this property, and they haven't come through to see the property, which means low interest. We're not going to waste time on somebody who can't actually even get in contact with us to make a time to see the property, so they're not even considered. This one here, I need to just scroll up a little bit. This one hasn't put in any income at all, so we're not even going to look at that one. But this one here, it's above 37%, so they shouldn't actually be applying for anything over $440 a week to be able to get that number down to below 30%. So the one that we did approve for this property was this one. They have offered $600 a week. You can see on their combined income of $2,594 per week, they can actually afford $778 per week. So that could have actually offered more than $600. Probably not wise, but they did offer $600. It was actually accepted by our landlord, and it didn't actually affect their ratio. So their ratio remains strong above 30%, below 30%, below 30%. So it's rent over combined income, so it's below 30. It has to be below 30%. So this one was approved, so we're waiting for them to actually sign the lease at the moment. If that falls through, then we'll move to the next application, which was this one here. So the landlord will be happy to give them a go. Now the difference between the two is, you can see these numbers here. I'm not going to show you the names. This was 2 applicants, this was 1. So the difference between the two is that this is reliant, this 23% is reliant on 2 rental incomes coming in, 2 incomes coming in. It's related to 2 separate incomes coming in, which means that if there is a relationship breakup and one of them stays behind, then that factor is going to go above 30%. They won't be able to afford the property, whereas this one is only 1 applicant, so he can comfortably afford the property at $550 on his own. So there's a lot of things to consider here for the landlord. She's chosen this one. It's not only the affordability criteria that we look at. We also look at past rental history. You know, yes, they're making what was it, $2,500 a week, but you know, do they have a gambling habit? Have they had a history of paying rent on time? Have they ever trashed a property or caused any kind of havoc for a landlord? Have they been good tenants in the past? If they have pets, have the pets damaged properties? So these are all factors that we look at. So this one actually checks out nicely, at least on paper. So we're going to give them a go. Keep in mind that every tenant you put into your property is a risk to that property. So this is why you need good landlord's insurance, so that if anything does go down the track, if your good tenant turns into a bad tenant later on, which does happen, it does happen, there would be no property management if this did not happen. So you need landlord's insurance just in case they go bad, but on paper, at least from what we're seeing here, we're happy to give these ones a go. So this is what we have done. These ones have won the property today, and we're going to be taking this property off the market soon at $50 a week, more than it's been advertised. Thanks for listening. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye then.